And brought to you by the Department of Communication and Journalism at Suffolk University. I'm Michaela Pyers.
And I'm Jeanette Odihid. Coming up, we'll take a look at safety measures at a new T station in Boston.
And we will continue our look at a pipeline that goes right through a neighborhood. But first, let's take a look at the weather.
Eleni Mata is here to let us know if we'll be needing an umbrella this week. Eleni?
We might still need our umbrellas, but it's better to have our winter jacket in hand. Now, the question is, are we done with snow officially? Stay tuned for our 5-day weather forecast later on.
Welcome back. I'm Michaela Pyers.
And I'm Jeanette Odihid. 3 Massachusetts college students were at the Brussels International Airport during yesterday's deadly attack. Kate Duffy, Lauren Clary, and Monica Hall all narrowly escaped injury. They were with 16 other abroad students who were traveling from Ireland to Brussels for their spring break. More than 30 people were killed and dozens more were injured yesterday in Brussels, the capital of Belgium, after several explosions occurred. The first 2 blasts went off in the Zaventem airport, and another explosion struck a metro station in the city about an hour later. Brussels police have a picture of the suspects, 2 of whom are believed to have died during the explosions. For 24 hours after the bombing, the city of Brussels was on lockdown and residents were asked to stay indoors. In wake of the tragedy, Brussels raised its terrorism alert to the highest level, and 3 days of national mourning have been set forth.
ISIS claimed responsibility for the brutal bombings in Brussels just after the event. The terrorist organizations made a post on the group's Amaq News saying their extremists opened fire in the airport and several of them detonated suicide belts. The attack was a response to Belgium's support of the international coalition made against the group. In result of the bombings in Brussels, Mass State Police increased security on the MBTA. The See Something, Say Something message is being reinforced by police all day today, asking everyone to be more alert of their surroundings and speak up.
Good news for Boston's commuters. After a 2-year wait, the MBTA has officially reopened Government Center Station, the only connection between the blue and green lines. The station opened for rides at 12:30 p.m. Monday afternoon. SC News reporter Katie Martineau is live outside the newly opened subway station. Katie?
Thanks, Jeanette. I'm here outside of the newly renovated Government Center T Station, where riders can expect a lot of different changes. There's a spacious lobby, new flooring, mosaic signs, as well as wheelchair accessibility and new platforms. However, following the Brussels attack yesterday, the MBTA is warning people to stay aware and to say something if they see something. There's been more police officers in and around the station, and while there is no threat to Massachusetts, they're telling people to stay aware. Reporting live at Government Center, I'm Katie Martineau.
Thanks, Katie. President Barack Obama arrived as the first sitting American president to visit Cuba since 1928 this past Sunday. Obama hopes this will spark a change in the communist country, help develop a relationship between the United States and Cuba, and grant freedom to the citizens, as well as open new economic channels for American businesses.
Residents are now taking action. They're trying to stop construction of a controversial pipeline that goes through their Roxbury and Dedham neighborhoods. In part 2 of our ongoing coverage, I went to West Roxbury to see what's being done to bring awareness to the high-pressure pipeline and community concerns. The fight continues for residents as construction for the West Roxbury natural gas pipeline is set to start back up in April. Residents continue to speak out against the project.
We have to be looking at alternative forms of energy. But to me, safety trumps everything else, and this is really not a sane solution to have in a residential neighborhood.
Residents' goal is to stop Spectra Energy, the company behind the construction of the high-pressure pipeline. Individuals opposed to the pipeline have been holding teach-ins like this one to inform the community. Boston University professor Nathan Phillips has been studying infrastructures linked to the gas pipeline in the Boston area for the past 5 years. He found there are thousands of leaks in the city, and these include gas leaks around the path of the pipeline.
The companies that put this in would like nothing more than for us to think of these as separate issues. But actually, this new pipeline will physically plug into this old leaking pipeline system.
An increase in the pressure traveling through the existing network of pipelines that are already experiencing hundreds of leaks will only increase the leak rates in the city. But the community is not backing down. One of the reasons? The pipeline will be passing by the main entrance of the West Roxbury crushed stone quarry, where they use explosives throughout the week. Every Monday, West Roxbury residents stand on this corner protesting against the West Roxbury lateral pipeline. To my right is the location where they plan on building the metering station for these pipelines. And as you can see, that's just feet away from residents' front doors.
Natural gas has been always painted as a bridge fuel to clean energy, but we just found that the numbers don't stack up. Here in West Roxbury, these people are taking control and trying to take control of their energy system and saying, we don't want this pipeline, we want clean energy, we don't want more fossil fuels.
Residents plan to continue opposing the project and hope to shut down construction in April. Groups working to stop the construction of the West Roxbury lateral pipeline have been holding civil disobedience training sessions for those interested in resisting the pipeline. If you'd like to get involved, visit swrl.info or resistthepipeline.org.
2 women were attacked after using a ride-sharing service on Sunday. The first attack happened just before 3 a.m. in the Fenway area after the first woman entered a car she believed to be from the ride-share service, which she called. Moments later, police were called to the Mission Hill area where another woman reported a similar attack. Police did not identify the ride-sharing service, and although Uber was not linked to the attack, Uber urges all riders to take precautions and confirm the driver's identity before getting into the vehicle.
Tempers flared during a Donald Trump rally in Phoenix last week. Protesters blocked a main highway leading into the Phoenix suburb where Trump was holding his rally. Traffic was backed up for miles as protesters held signs reading, "Dump Trump," "Must Stop Trump," and "Trump is Hate." This is the second Trump rally that has sparked protests in recent weeks.
Some changes are happening to a couple of familiar landmarks on Causeway Street. The iconic Bobby Orr statue and ground-level TD Garden sign that greets fans at the western entrance to the arena are being moved. This move comes as the home of the Celtics and Bruins undergoes construction for the Hub on Causeway project. The Bobby Orr statue is being moved to the eastern side of the arena at Portal Park, and the TD Garden sign is being dismantled for the time being. The completed project will feature a plaza with entertainment attractions, a residential tower, and office building.
Spring break is a chance to get away and relax from your busy school schedule, but some take that as an opportunity to pursue larger career goals. Our reporter Shauna Newcomb shares her experience of being a WRAL reporter for the week.
Up, up, and away to Raleigh, North Carolina, where I got the opportunity to learn from some of the best in the journalism business. A dozen students from across the country were chosen for the Capital Broadcasting Company Fellowship Diversity Program in partnership with WRAL-TV. Their goal? To train the next wave of journalists. With help from the station's photographers, each student experienced the pressure to turn over their stories in just one day. But work hard, play hard. The students made lifelong connections as we bonded over arcade games at Dave & Buster's. But it was right back to the station in the morning.
Another story. Oh yeah. Squad goals.
News director Rick Gall gave us advice on how to land and keep our first job.
And every now and then I would wear this. It's a little busy.
Reporters Ken Smith and Renee Chu taught us how to dress professionally. On the last day, students put together 2 newscasts, followed by a celebratory dinner. There wasn't a dry eye in the room as each student reflected on the lifelong friends they made and the incredible opportunity they earned.
We were all really nervous, but we learned from each other's experiences, and we all had something to bring to the table. And I think
The fellowship program encourages diversity in the newsroom in respect to race, gender, and sexual orientation. The program, which is open to graduating seniors, will be back for its 5th year next March. Joining us now in the studio is Shauna Newcomb to talk about her experience.
So Shauna, how was it like being in North Carolina and getting to be like a reporter for a whole week?
Well, y'all, it was amazing. And I did obviously take back some of their dialect, although
I missed Wicked a lot. I missed the Boston accent. I didn't think I would ever say that. But yeah, I was in North Carolina reporting for WRAL, which is a news station top 25 in the market. My professor, Steve Harvey, suggested it to his students, and I applied for it, and I got it. So I went down there. I worked with professional photographers, and I was even able to go out and make my own story with one of these professional photographers. I went out to cover politics, which is my favorite thing. And although I'm exhausted, don't zoom in too close. The bags are still there. I'm still recovering. Even though it was exhausting, it was amazing. But here's a look at the package that I made about the new voter ID law that's stopping millennials from making an impact on this election.
Talk to college students who ran into problems with the law. She joins us live from NC State with her stories. Shauna?
So you've just blown out your candles on your 18th birthday. What's the big whoop? Well, you've just reached a milestone in your life and you can finally vote. But for a lot of students in North Carolina, they're realizing that right to vote, well, it isn't always guaranteed. Some students are feeling the burn. Others want to make America great again. Meredith College students are joining millions of millennials in this political revolution.
We are the ones who are going to be those taxpayers. We are the ones who are going to be living out those laws, and we want to make a say in who we want to create those laws.
We're going to be on History Channel one day. Like, this is, like, we're in the thick of it. This is the most historic election, the most exciting of our times.
Hey, if you don't like how things are in your city, your state, your country, this is your chance. This is your only chance.
Millions of people are coming in to vote.
Others say there is no chance because our system is broken.
When it comes to the actual problems that we do care about, no one's really caring because they're like, oh, listen to what Trump said.
Others believe it's not just the system that's at fault.
The size of the millennial generation is the same size as the baby boomer generation, so it's a huge part, but they just don't vote as much.
In addition, the new voter ID law might be discouraging some from participating. Many students here in North Carolina aren't actually from North Carolina. Out-of-state licenses like this one you see here may not do any good when you go to vote.
I think that it's a pretty blatant attack on certain demographics of our state.
Though not all agree that the law is part of the problem.
The voter ID law is a good thing. I think it's accessible enough for all Americans.
For this subset of Americans, the challenges are real, and only their political engagement can overcome them. Now, if you do have an out-of-state license, don't worry about it. There's still a way that you can get one, and in time for the next election. All you have to do is grab your social, head to the local licensing DMV, and file the correct paperwork. I'm Shauna Newcomb reporting live from NC State.
Thank you.
That was a really great story. It looks like you had a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. But like you said earlier, spring break is a great way for students to get out and really take time off from school. And although I do wish that I was on the beach relaxing and enjoying the sun, I wouldn't have traded this experience for anything. Definitely the best way to have spent my spring break.
Well, just know, while the rest of us were relaxing, you were getting one step ahead of the game, so that's all that matters.
I don't know. We'll see about that.
A new citywide tradition has Bostonians doing random acts of kindness for one another. Find out next.
Plus, Chipotle restaurants are giving out freebies to customers. But are they working? More after the break.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Welcome back. I'm Michaela Pyers.
And I'm Jeanette Orihed.
April 15th has officially been dubbed One Boston Day. A statement released from the mayor's office says the day is meant to encourage random acts of kindness and goodwill. Last year marked the beginning of One Boston Day, honoring the victims of the Boston Marathon bombings. The city of Boston has launched onebostonday.org so people can share their good deeds. Bostonians can also use the hashtag OneBostonDay on social media.
Chipotle restaurants are giving out freebies to customers, but are they working? The restaurant chain saw a 26% decline in food sales in February, following a 36% decline in January because of a recent health issue that had caused several restaurants to close temporarily. This marks the first loss for the food chain since opening in 2006. The company has tried different promotional offers following the E. coli outbreak that sent sales plummeting. Twitter turned 10 this week. Monday marked the 10th birthday of the popular social media site. Twitter has 320 million users, including many major celebrities, politicians, and even the Pope. Users create 5 million tweets per day and share hashtags to discuss trends, global moments, and events. To celebrate the milestone, the social media site featured a special happy birthday message that read, "Thank you for making history, driving change, lifting each other up, and laughing together every day," followed by the hashtag #LoveTwitter.
Many students spent their spring break relaxing. Some may even spend time on beaches or on cruises. One student took a boat ride, but not for pleasure, for profit. Our student reporter Casey Hall didn't make it to the beaches, but he did make it on a boat. Not a cruise ship, but his uncle's lobster boat, normally his summer job while home from school. Casey got a chance to get back on the boat since his family fishes all year round, not just in fair weather. Casey certainly didn't get a summer tan, but managed to stay on board while the Atlantic gave a nice spring chop. Things were a little lonely on the ocean. Only a few other boats are in the bay this time of year. But as the weather warms up, more fishermen will be getting back in the water. Maine lawmakers have recently worked on a bill to adjust the student license age in the state for lobstering. These changes could extend the age for student and apprentice licenses like Casey's to 23 in hopes of shortening the state's full-time license waitlist. These changes have gained initial approval while it waits for the full legislature approval next month. The calendar indicates spring is officially here.
But Mother Nature might have other plans. Eleni Mattel will join us after the break to let us know if we should put the winter coats away for good.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Welcome back. I'm Michaela Pyers.
And I'm Jeanette Orihed.
You know, my body is still adjusting from going from 85-degree weather now back to 50-degree weather, and it's always changing. I don't know about New England.
I know, it's always so unpredictable. Joining us in the studio, Eleni Mata will tell us what to expect this week. So, Eleni, should we put our winter clothes away yet?
That's definitely an interesting question since coming back from winter break, we had to break out our winter jacket.
Now let's just see a side-by-side comparison of the Granary Cemetery. Now just around 7 and 8 a.m. it was completely covered in snow. But as you see later on, around 2 p.m. the snow basically disappeared. Now if we go over to next, seeing footage of the Boston Common, there was barely any snow there. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people actually were excited to see the green coming back in and that the snow is shrinking. Now let's take a look at the weather coming up today in Massachusetts. Now Lowell is in 57, Boston is at 58, so it's a little bit of the high 50s going into 60, so we are getting excited that we're getting a taste of that spring weather that we've been missing so much. Worcester's also at 58. Now if you're over at the Cape near the water, it's at 50, 56. You're still getting there, but it's a little bit of a breeze because there's always a breeze down at the Cape. Now let's look at our 5-day forecast. Today is a little bit rainy, as every Wednesday seems to be so far. The highest is at 60, lowest is at 39. It was only AM showers, so we can put our umbrella away for now. But keep your scarf handy because Thursday is going to be a little bit chilly and a lot more cloudy. We might not see the sun until later on. Friday is all day rain, so break out your umbrella. But Saturday, the rays of sun will come back out. I like to use my Saturdays to go shopping, especially since Sunday is Easter Sunday. Only 53 degrees, low 41, but not too much wind, so you can break out your favorite sunglasses and your favorite Easter dress. So we'll be excited for Sunday's weather.
It's the happiest place on earth for children, but it comes with a price. Disney World's heavily populated parks means higher prices during peak seasons. During spring break weeks and during the summer months, tickets are $27 more. The ticket increase is an effort to spread out visitation throughout the year. Unfortunately, parks are the most expensive when most families are actually able to go. Additional funds help the parks with staffing and park improvements throughout the year.
Coming up next, we are going to take a look at how well the Suffolk baseball and softball teams performed in Florida. Stay right there.
You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Welcome back. I'm Michaela Pyers.
And I'm Jeanette Orihed. Lauren Barabee is here with news on the Suffolk baseball and softball team's spring training trip. Lauren, how'd they do?
Jeanette, spring break is a great time to get away to find a little bit of a winter haven. Winter Haven, Florida, that is. The men's baseball team spent 9 days in the Sunshine State, taking on teams from around the country. Our Rams played 10 games on their trip, collecting 8 wins. And the Rams' bats were almost as hot as the temperatures down south. Double-digit leads decided 4 different games, including 2 18-run outings. Suffolk's hitting spree was led by senior John LaPola. He's knocked in 16 RBIs so far this season. The pitchers were also throwing some heat on the mound with sophomore Worth Waldred. He gained back-to-back Pitcher of the Week nominations. And he's an ace on the mound for sure, and he comes out of spring training with 2 wins and no losses. Holding on to a 0 ERA, up next for the men, a trip to Wheaton College on Friday at 3:30 p.m. The men look to make it back to the GNAC conference again this year for championships. The women's softball team was also in on action over spring break. The Lady Rams had a great showing at spring training, bringing in 7 wins in 10 games. This outing was the best spring training record for Suffolk softball since 2005. And this great start is partially due to freshman Evelyn Marquis. Evelyn has already been named GNAC's Rookie of the Week, and for being an underclassman, she's already hitting over 500 this season, with 8 runs batted in so far. Next up for the softball team is a doubleheader at Curry College this Thursday at 3 and 5 p.m. Michaela and Jeanette, back to you.
Thanks, Lauren. Coming up next, we will take a look at St. Patrick's Day like only Boston can do it.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Hey, Gabby, how you doing? How was the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey, guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Welcome back. I'm Michaela Pyers.
And I'm Jeanette Orihed. The St. Patrick's Day Parade was another success as thousands of people decked in green and waving Irish flags gathered on the streets of South Boston. However, the city brought out heavy police presence to ensure spectator safety. Although there were only 5 arrests this year, half of last year's total, nearly 500 individuals were cited for public drinking, almost double the amount last year.
The parade followed its normal route down Broadway Street, turning around at East 4th Street, then wrapping around Dorchester Heights and on to Andrew Square.
This year marked the 115th anniversary of the first parade honoring Evacuation Day in Boston.
They kicked it off with members of the Boston Police, Fire Department, and Park Rangers, also followed by veterans and current members of the military from different branches. There were also vintage cars and trucks, Clydesdales, and high school bands, and plenty of bagpipes. That's all we have for you today. Thank you for watching SU News, and see you next week. I'm Michaela Pyers.
And I'm Jeanette Orihed. As we go, we'll leave you with the sights and sounds of the St. Patrick's Day Parade.